may be wondering why I spent last night cutting holes in the bulkhead in my kitchen. I cut 1, 2, 3, 4 holes in the bulkhead. And the reason, there's a good reason, it's because in preparation for the next chunk of my renovation, the big part, the fancy part, the exciting part, I'm getting a new kitchen. I'm getting new kitchen cabinets and countertops. In fact, I'm completely redesigning this kitchen to have a whole new layout, and it is going to look beautiful. It is the part of the renovation that I'm the most excited for, but it's also the biggest headache, the most expensive, the most long-winded process. And the bulkheads are gonna go. So often when builders put these in, they do so to conceal like HVAC and plumbing and all sorts of things up in the ceiling there. And if that was the case, if there were pipes and all of that, then the new cabinets will have to be made to conceal all of that. But I had to find out, so the cabinet guy said, hey, you gotta poke a hole, you gotta find out. So I cut it open, I looked, and thankfully, they're empty. It's kind of stupid that they're there if they're empty. It means that the builder really just put them there to be able to put smaller cabinets and save money. But the bulkheads are empty, which means that my new cabinets can go all the way up to the ceiling. I'm gonna have tons of storage space. I'm gonna have a little crown molding at the top. It's gonna look super nice. But there's more to this. As much as I am excited to get my new kitchen, I have the rendered drawings. I'm not gonna share them with you guys yet. I wanna keep it a surprise, but it's gonna look so nice. However, before any of that can happen, before the old kitchen can be torn out, before the new kitchen can be installed, I gotta take a wall down. This wall right here, which separates the kitchen from the living space, it's gotta go because I'm gonna be having a kitchen island, a big beautiful island put in here. I wanna make this into one big room. The kitchen island is gonna face into the living room. It's gonna be gorgeous, but this is a really big task to have done. It makes me very, very nervous because this is a structural wall. It is a load-bearing wall, and if it is not done properly, the whole house is gonna cave in. So it is definitely a nerve-wracking experience for me. My face is all broken out. You can see I've been stressing a lot about this. I wish I could say that wasn't true, but it's true, I have been. I've been reaching out to different contractors, and I truthfully know absolutely nothing about this. I've been trying to read things online and reach out to different engineers and try and get some information, but I don't know anything about this, and I don't know who I can trust. And the problem is that the first contractor I reached out to, who seems to have a good reputation, his reviews online are very good, he seems to know what he's talking about, I guess. He gave me a quote that I think is very reasonable and that I'm comfortable paying, but it's almost too reasonable. Like the price is almost too good to be true and it has me nervous. I've reached out to a handful of other contractors and some of them have quoted me 2 to 3 times as much, which makes me even more worried because I'm like, are they just taking advantage of me? Or is the first guy too good to be true? And you know, you get what you pay for. And obviously removing a load-bearing structural wall from your house is absolutely not somewhere where you want to cut corners just to save a few bucks, because the consequences of that are, I mean, the house will cave in, like I said. And of course, every contractor that you contact will tell you what the other people are doing wrong. So the first guy says, oh, you need this size beam. And the second guy says, oh, that's not a big enough beam, you need a bigger one. And then the third guy says, no, I can put an even smaller beam than the first guy said. It makes me particularly nervous to know that my main master bedroom is directly above this wall, along with my ensuite bathroom. And as you guys probably saw in my home tour video, my ensuite bathroom has a giant corner bathtub, which when full, I have to imagine is close to 1,000 pounds of water. And I'm like, what if I fill it up and I get into it and the beam that they install can't hold the weight and it just comes crashing through the floor? And I'm just like, it's making me think of that scene in Breaking Bad where Walt and Jesse are trying to dispose of the body and trying to melt it in a bathtub full of acid, and the tub just comes crashing through the floor and crashing through the ceiling. Anyways, I'm probably way overthinking this. I'm probably getting myself all worked up about nothing, which happens to be my specialty. I'm really good at that. But it's a big deal. And this is a big investment. The home itself is a big investment. The renovation is a big investment. And I just want it to be safe. I'll catch up with you guys soon once I've got this all figured out and the work gets started. See you soon. Whew. All right, and just like that, the wall is gone. It's like magic. So I'll show you guys exactly what I was talking about before. Basically, the contractor was here this morning. He cut all the ceiling joists. So the joists are the pieces that run this way. They cut into them so they can embed this big horizontal beam. This is a structural beam that's now holding the weight that the previous wall used to hold. And yeah, as you can see, instead of it looking like a doorway, that big overhead hanging part, I'll put a clip here of what it looked like before just to remind you. Instead of it looking like you're passing through a doorway now, it's going to be just one giant room that is my kitchen and living space. It's going to look gorgeous when it's all done, but the bad news is that this state of chaos with the light switches dangling and the big hole in the ceiling and the exposed beams. And even here in the floor, there's a big hole which I've temporarily covered with this board so that I don't fall in it, so Levi doesn't fall and get hurt. That's where the piece of wall used to be. I'm going to be living in this state for the next, I don't even want to tell you how long, probably 6 weeks. Yeah, you heard that right. It's going to be about 6 weeks before my new kitchen is ready to be installed. And that is quite a long time to be living in this mess, but unfortunately, there is nothing I can do about it. I'm honestly so relieved that this part is over. We'll see how it goes tonight when I fill up that bathtub. I know that sounds like such a stupid thing to say, but I am still a little bit sketched out about it. The contractor was amazing. It was 3 guys. They showed up at 9 o'clock this morning. They were done and out of here before 1 p.m., which is crazy. Like, it's such a fast job for something that is so intense, but that's it. Something they always talk about during renovations is to have a budget and then know that you're gonna go way over that budget because things are never gonna go according to plan. So I'm already starting to see where that's becoming a thing. Currently, there are smooth ceilings in the kitchen and stucco ceilings up here, like that. And I didn't really have any plans. I know having all smooth ceilings is really nice, but it's just an extra expense to remove the stucco, and honestly, it doesn't bother me, so I planned to leave it how it is. However, I'm now realizing that I can't, because when they cut the ceiling, they cut into part of the stucco and part of the flat ceiling. And for anybody unaware, it's notoriously impossible to properly patch stucco ceilings. They always just look pretty wonky, like when you try to reapply the texture, it just never looks good. So unfortunately, I am going to have to smooth coat the ceiling now, which is going to be an extra expense I didn't plan for. It's going to be probably, I want to say like maybe $2,000, which sucks, but you know, hopefully that's the end of it. In addition to them just cutting into the ceiling, the house had to be on jacks during the procedure so that the weight was supported while they were taking the wall down, and the jacks have left marks in the ceilings, which are not like the worst, but I can see them, and you can see basically like a line. I'll try and show you guys. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but yeah, the ceilings are gonna have to be smooth coated now. So I'm also trying to decide if I should be doing pot lights. I love pot lights. I think they look great. I think they would look wonderful here. But again, that's gonna cost me, you know, a couple $1,000s to have pot lights done, whereas I can go get some light fixtures at IKEA like I had before. I know they don't look nearly as good, but I was pretty happy with them. And it's everything when you're renovating just kind of rolls into the next thing. So it becomes like, well, if you're gonna do pot lights, technically you can do them anytime, but you should do them before the ceiling is properly fixed in case they mess anything up so that they can fix it while they're going and it's not a big deal. You wouldn't want to have like a perfectly repaired ceiling and then have the pot light guy screw it up. So that's kind of a thing I have to worry about, and I have some decisions to make. So ultimately, whether or not I'm going to be able to do something like that is going to depend on what the rest of this all costs. I'm really grateful to know that this part of it is done and over, and I can stop ruminating about it and stop worrying about it. So far, it seems to be okay. So far, it seems to be holding up all right, but we'll see how the next couple of days go. I'm not going to lie, as soon as they were done, I went upstairs to my bedroom and I was kind of like bouncing up and down, jumping on the floor a little bit to see if there was any give, if it was going to collapse. And thankfully it didn't. As I'm saying this, I'm like, this is gonna sound so stupid. I brought Levi upstairs with me when I did that because I was like weighing my options. I was like, well, if the ceiling caves in and the house collapses, is he safer upstairs with me or downstairs? I'm like, well, if he's downstairs and the ceiling collapses, he's gonna get crushed and killed. If he's upstairs and we fall through together, maybe my body can break his fall. What a terrible thought. Maybe I should just put him in the backyard. But yeah, the ceiling didn't cave in, so far so good. But yeah, anyways, the next renovation update you guys get may just be some major demolition happening here in preparation of the new kitchen install. I'm not sure at this moment if there's anything else specific I need to do or get done before then, but I will certainly keep you guys in the loop. If you enjoyed this video at all, please go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to follow along on all of the renovation updates, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Follow me on Instagram. I tend to put little updates there before you see them here. So this is obviously the long format, but if you want to get a little sneak peek as to what's been going on here, follow me on Instagram at recording_2_Nicole. Other than that, thank you guys so much as always for watching. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Last night I filled up my bathtub halfway because I was so scared that it was gonna cave through the floor. And I like dipped one foot in and kind of like pushed down, and then it seemed to be okay, and dipped the other foot in, pushed down, and then kind of like jumped up and down. But yeah, good news, house is still standing 24 hours later, so I think we are in the clear.